Your art is first and foremost yours to enjoy. Before you even think about these accolades or the world or a certain level, you've got to remember that the root of your creativity started when you were a kid in play. Hey, I'm Lara, an artist, educator and entrepreneur who's danced through life in Australia, London and California. Now I'm an Aussie in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Juggling roles as an artist, ex-dancer, current actor, author, professional educator and qualified life coach, I'm also a wife and mother of two. Join me on this podcast crafted for creative souls at every level, entrepreneurs, artists, dreamers and hope-filled humans alike. I'm here to guide you towards a life of love, purpose, adventure, and boundless creativity. As a healthy, wealthy, and wise creative soul, I invite you to hit subscribe for weekly inspiration. Anticipate solo episodes, exclusive interviews with creative luminaries, and insightful discussions with my hottie hubby, Andrew, a specialist performance physical therapist, as we delve into the dynamics of relationships and more. Dive into a 360-degree view of making a creative life you'll love. Hey artists friends, it's so good to be back on the mic doing a solo episode. I, at the time of recording this, have had a huge world traveling summer where I have literally gone to Australia to renew my US visa and then all the way to Finland to run an arts event for Creative Arts Europe, which I do with my husband annually. It's been fantastic. It's been a great reminder. It's given me more clarity. And this episode's going to be, it's really that thing about clarity that our thoughts can really hijack the amazing future that we get to have as artists, creative entrepreneurs, whichever one is you. I posted on Instagram a post that really resonated with a lot of artists, so I wanted to break down some of that in this episode, but there's 3 thoughts about your art, and this is really just a minisode in that it's not hugely long, but 3 thoughts about your art that you need to check for as I speak them out and share about them. They're very common, and they're things that can sneak up on you and hijack your creative life. So the first one is that your art is only worthy when it's at a certain level. And the reason that I want to debunk this one is that for me personally, what this has looked like is that, as a dancer, an actor or a singer, whatever, or writing, how do you actually get to the certain level until you actually just put out there the level that you're at? You can't get to the certain level, whatever that is for you, of AKA success, without actually going through the hoops of the levels before. So every level is worthy because it leads to the next learning experience, the next output as a creative that you have. And it's really easy, particularly for me with my background in the performing arts. It's like, unless you have A to Z credits, or you have this level of accolades on IMDb or whatever it is, that your art's not worthy. Well, that's not true. And you can't think that way, because if you think that way, you will walk around carrying that weight of, I'm not yet, my voice is not yet valid as an artist. Be careful of that, because it can hinder that amazing flow of genius that you possess inside of you and stop you actually creating and training and refining. Everybody that's at that certain level had to do the levels before. And there is some okay art that's out there that's, in the mainstream, galleries or on television or on the charts that a lot of people might not think is at a certain level, but people like it because it's vulnerable, and there's other layers to art other than just our own perception of what is excellent. It can be that it speaks to somebody right now at the level that you're at. So you have a voice right now. All right, the next kind of lie, really, that you need to watch out for is the thought that you're only worthy as an artist once you're at a certain level. Now, I'm not talking about your art right now, but I'm talking about you. And I've experienced this too, where, I'll meet a young artist when I was in London and they'd be like, I'm going to do all these things. And once I, have my celebrity or I have my platform, then I'm going to help change the world in some way. Well, that's a delusion because you can change the world right now and you're worthy and your voice is worthy right now. You can go to events where there's that kind of, meeting other artists or going to classes or networking events where, you will pick up on the vibe and the atmosphere around you that says that person's the most worthy, and we almost worship them because of their credits. And that doesn't mean we don't majorly respect that person. It doesn't mean that we don't learn from them, but it's that thing of flipping your thought from negative and destructive to actually constructive, where it's like, okay, that person's got what I want, and I want to admire that, but I'm not going to compare and despair. And I'm actually going to go, right now, Lara, or whoever you are, I am worthy. So insert blank. Right now, my art is worthy. And right now, I am worthy. And I have a voice. And I will hold my head high in those spaces with other artists and not be intimidated, but be inspired by those creatives around me. Because again, when you don't feel worthy, you will carry that with you and it can hijack your entire creative process. Again, don't let these thoughts hinder that amazing artistic well of creativity that is in each one of us. We all have creativity. We're born with it. It's your birthright. So don't for a second think just because one person's considered more worthy in terms of worldly credits. What's worthy for you is, have you been in the studio painting? Have you been writing this week? Have you been in the studio dancing? Have you read a script or a play this week? Have you watched something on television if you're an actor and thought, about it as an art form and how it might affect you and improve your work? That work behind the scenes is actually where you need to class yourself as worthy rather than credits, accolades, things in galleries, published work. You are worthy when you are actually doing the behind the scenes work. And then suddenly you get to be out in the light. There's a saying that's quite common in the entertainment industry that an overnight success is actually 10 years. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. So class yourself as worthy if you're doing the behind the scenes work. All right, last one. I think this is really important as well. The lie and the thought that you have missed your opportunity. Whatever that means for you. Maybe you finished high school and you didn't go straight into an arts degree and you think it's too late. Maybe you never pursued it. You pursued a different career that was safer, and as a result of that, you let your really great gifting of creativity and art completely go by the wayside and didn't give it even a part-time voice. Maybe you did something for a long time in your youth and then life took over and you stopped doing it and now you feel like you can't go back to it because it's too late. Maybe you feel like I should have moved to that big arts hub sooner. Maybe you feel like I let go of it when I had kids and it's too late, or I'm too busy, I've got kids now, I can't, my hands are too full, or whatever it is that is causing you to think that you've missed your opportunity. It's not true, because as an artist, you have the opportunity to create at every age for every audience. You can create your own opportunities at any level because there are a lot of different audiences. There are a lot of different ages. This is such limited thinking. In Australia, I was involved for years with a group of women who were doing class on a Friday morning. I think this has been going for about 20 years. They're doing dance class. A lot of them now are in their 60s and 70s. And they've always been dancers, and some have, let it go and come back in. But I say this because it's a great example that even you think, no, dance is for, before you're 30 or at the latest 35. But that's not true in this case. This amazing group of women just committed to doing class every week, and then from that formed this company. I think it's called Momentum Dance. You can check it out. But where they're older and they're creating work as older women, and it's beautiful and it has an audience and it has a voice. And I say that because whatever age you are, whatever your experience, there is always an audience. There is always an opportunity. There is always something that you can create if it's not already existing. You have not missed your opportunity. If there's not a class that exists, if there's not a learning experience that exists, if there's not a platform or an audience, you get the opportunity to create one. You can get your friends together, other artists together, collaborate. You can ask a teacher to teach you or help you refine your work, split the costs with other people that may be interested. There is always a way, especially in this digital age, to find your voice and your audience and your opportunity. So to recap, your art is first and foremost yours to enjoy. Before you even think about these accolades or the world or a certain level, you've got to remember that the root of your creativity started when you were a kid in play, and kids play and they create, they make visual art, they dance freely without inhibition. And depending on cultural experience as well, you see different ways that this takes place. And kids do this from play, and that play usually leads artists into going, I want to do this into my adult life. So remember that primarily what you have started from this place of creative play, which is a natural expression within you, and it's first and foremost yours to enjoy. And don't let accolades or the voices out there hijack you from that beautiful thing that you get to have in your life, which adds so much joy to your life. Remember that at every level that you're at, if you're feeling intimidated as an artist, every level you're at, someone's going to love your work and someone is going to dislike your work. So you have a voice right now. You don't need to worry about whether you're worthy or not right now, because every level is up for criticism, love and dislike. And that happens because, you look at a major film that's a blockbuster, you'll have friends that love it, you'll have friends that hate it. An amazing actor or actress, friends that love them or friends that think their work is not great. The more you put yourself out there, the more you're up for both love and dislike as in terms of your work. So don't let yourself be hijacked at any level of your process. And finally, being an artist means, again, that you get to create opportunities at every age for every audience. So there's no excuse that you've missed your opportunity. There's no excuse that you are only worthy as an artist once you're at a certain level. And there's no excuse that your art is only worthy when it's at a certain level, because you have a birthright of creative genius within you. Class your success and your worthiness as whether or not you're in that studio, in that process of writing, that you're hitting those targets and those action steps each day. If you have a goal that you're going for, that's big. I hear you. I've been like that my whole creative life. The success is not judged by whether you've achieved it, but whether you're taking any action step toward that major goal. Thank you, friends, again for listening. Make sure you hit subscribe to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast. I'm a creativity coach and a qualified life coach. That's what I've been working on. I have 20 years of education, professional experience. That was something I trained in for dance and drama and directing and all of those kinds of things. And I am now writing, which is exciting. It's a newer part of my life. Don't miss the Creative Purpose Journal as well, which is available at larabiancapilcher.com, which helps you to take the daily action steps I mentioned towards those bigger goals and to actually debunk any lies and thoughts that are hindering your process. But I would love to have you join me here weekly for inspirational 360-degree building a life of love, purpose, adventure, and boundless creativity. Until next time, bye friends. Phew, today's masterclass is done. I love reaching back and saying, I've done this, and helping you learn the easy way. If you want more, head to larabiancapilcher.com for show notes, links, freebies, my blog, coaching and courses, and you can also head to my socials, Lara Bianca Pilcher on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also on Twitter and Pinterest. Thanks again for listening. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. That would mean the world to me. And of course, keep on living the healthy, wealthy, wise artist living towards your dream life. Bye, friends. P.S. Shout out to my hottie hubby, Andrew Pilcher. who does all the editing on this podcast.